okay, that we would not recreate another 1881 in Central. I think that's the goal. The Paul has shown you the condition of the building inside. It was really built in the 1936 based on a very old set of regulations of the UK, the London County Council regulation of 1915. So it's really based on a building code. Somehow this was hidden. So it's 1915 building code. Because it's been used as a market, there are a bit of corrosion. I think that people knows about earlier this year we held the forum on reinforced concrete. And as you know, it's very different from brick and mortar building. RC building is really sort of monolithic building. The structure of building is really the steel, not the concrete. The concrete is only the protection cover, covering this, sort of protecting this steel frame. But sadly, because it's used in the market, it would be very humid in the past 80 years. It's been abandoned and no one maintained it in the past 10 years. The corrosion of the cover, okay, it's like a skin and bone. The skin has all been peeled off, okay, or they've been corroded, and there's a bit of it's totally lost its protection cover. As far as this building is built in the 30s, based on 1915 building code, the loading capacity is very different. So we have this very big dilemma and conflict is that when people wish to see green and trees, the building itself cannot, the loading capacity is not up to standard. Talk about the other element, which is the character defining element. I think everyone agrees that, or shown it in the slides, is the linear external wall. It's of the building that is a great significance and needs to be preserved. A very high significant value. The stalls, the stalls is really part of the sort of grid structure. What they say is the Bauhaus style is really sort of modernist style. It's really is building function follows its form. So the function of the building is very important. So the building itself is defined by this grid pattern, which is the very open form, the grid, the slab, and the column. Main staircase, and part of the stalls that has been identified by Professor Ho as representative of the different type of uses. And although the building was built in 1930, is considered to be a very advanced market at that time. It was built, in Hong Kong, the market was built, or all the market has been built in accordance to a very funny regulation, or very advanced regulation, which is called the municipal regulation, which was enacted back in 1860. So back in 1860, all the market, purpose-built market, really follows this regulation in the sense the food needs to be segregated, the store needs to be segregated. So at that time, the ground floor used to be selling meat and poultry, and the top floor selling fruits and vegetables. So the design of the store is very different. But over the 60, 80 years, all the market store has been modified, and some of them have been sort of demolished. But PP has been able to identify a few, or a number of very characteristic stores that need to be preserved. This is a charrette, the consensus, I think. So based on all this information and the public aspiration, which are very rather intangible. So what is green? What is important? The atrium is important. How we need to go forward. So we would like the COCIP did appoint 4 architects, which are sitting here, try to demonstrate in various forms how they sort of aims to meet the public aspiration. So I'll leave it to them to talk about the design. As far as the next stage go, I think Paul has rightly pointed out the management is very important. Okay, URA does not only manage Western market. Yesterday we have awarded the operation of the greenhouse, another historical building, to an NGO, the Art Center. So turn it into a comic sort of home. So we are venturing into a different mode of operation and the use of historical buildings. So when we sort of gauge the view of the public as to which direction they wish to go, from minimal to innovation, we'll start to think about the operation. I think we do acknowledge the operation and the use of the building, the type of use of the building is important. The architectural design is only the hardware, but in order to make this successful, not another 1881 in Central, the software is important. So I do welcome input and your comments on not only the hardware, but the software, which the committee will debate about the software, I think, when we have eventually awarded the hardware. I think I'll leave the Institute for Architects to talk about the design. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Michael.